So now, ladies and gentlemen, live and in colour, it's Mr. Wayne Lovejuice.
The other day our producer Louis had a chat with an interesting chappie who said that the YouTube algorithms really aren't that happy if a channel only broadcasts once a week, so we decided we could text ya whenever we've got a piece of news in our new book on the Track Extra. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of On the Track Extra. In the middle distance behind me, you can see that Richard is cuddling the dog and giggling at something revolting he just said, which I have no intention of repeating because it will end up getting us kicked off YouTube, and probably Uncle Louis will never speak to us again. So what we're going to talk about this week? Well, although usually about 99.9% of the time when we're talking about Fortean subjects, we are talking about animals. Either unknown animals, mystery animals, animals that have turned up in places they're not supposed to, or something like that. But this time, for a change, we are now going to talk about something that sounds like a 19th century musical song. The biggest potato in the world. I got the biggest potato in the world. Well, I showed it to my best girl. She said, golly, I've never seen one that size before. During my ill-fated spell in boarding school in the late 1970s, one of my best friends was called Ian, and he had a nickname, Dig, and this was because he'd refused when he was younger to join the army cadets, and so instead of going on parade and learning how to kill people on a Saturday afternoon, he went along and helped a local farmer dig potatoes, and his name was Dig. But why am I telling you this? It's because it's irresistibly reminiscent of what I'm going to show you now. This was claimed to be the biggest potato in the world, and it was called Doug. D-U-G, not D-O-U-G. And it was found in New Zealand. The whole story started in August of last year, when a couple from Hamilton in the North Island found something extraordinary in their garden.
I got the fork and jabbed into it and hoiked it out of the ground, and holy snapping turtle teeth, what's going on here?
And Colin Craig Brown, aged 52, gingerly picked up at the huge root vegetable. And it wasn't long before they'd christened it Doug and decided that it was quite likely to be the biggest potato in the world. He cut a small slice off and tasted it. Well, it looked like a potato. It tasted like a potato, but would the Guinness Book of Records actually think it was a potato? Well, I don't know if the Guinness Book of Records is still edited by Richard and my old friend Craig Glenday, but if it is, hey dude, come and see us sometime. I haven't seen you in a long time. But in order to verify their claim that they had the largest potato in the world, they cut another piece off and sent it off for DNA analysis. And guess what? It wasn't a potato. They were very disappointed, especially as in the intervening months they had been doing something so peculiar as to be CFZ level peculiar, dressing Doug the potato, which wasn't a potato, in a number of different outfits and putting photographs of his adventures on social media. Whether they'll continue to do that, now it's turned out that Doug is not the largest potato in the world, but is actually the tuber of a New Zealand plant called the choco, which grows in their garden. I don't know, but I'm quite looking forward to finding out. The whole thing was bizarre, because it was just a tuber, not the biggest potato in the world. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see in the background, Richard is playing with Lilith. Archie, who you can't see in the background, is underneath the blanket thing on Richard's knee. And we've just come to the end of another episode. So, thank you very much to everybody involved. In fact, I think the only people involved, if you don't count Richard's guest appearances playing with the cat, were actually me and Louis, because I think it was Louis who sent me the story about the biggest potato in the world, which turned out not to be the biggest potato in the world. I find these little snippets of Quasar totally fascinating. And it's my show, and I'm going to carry on showing you stories about super large potatoes, which turn out not to be potatoes, as and when they turn up. However, like I said, it's the end of the show, and I hope you found it entertaining, edifying, eclectic, educational, and Richard, another thing begin with E. Quick. Egregious. Do I mean that? Yes, probably. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next Saturday for another On the Track Extra. On Saturday coming up, when we've got a really exciting On the Track, which we're halfway through filming at the moment. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's not finished yet. And so on ad infinitum. So, boys and girls, thank you for watching. Come back next week and I'll be seeing you.